Okay, we need to talk about it. Because I'm seeing it more and more often in women in like their 30s and 40s. Like, I get it if you're like in your 20s and you're like, but I like him. You can't like him too. Or like, I like him. Why? He was flirting with you. Okay, well, it doesn't matter if you like him. Because if he was flirting with me or her or even him, then honey, he wasn't flirting with you. And what you're going to have to learn to do is just accept that isn't the man for you. Doesn't matter how much you like someone. If they don't like you, I mean, I suppose you could chase it. You know, you could like try to chase it. Or you could be like that girl that like is like, I'm going to make him jealous. So I'm going to take like a bunch of pictures of me with other guys and like post them on my social media. Or like, oh God, the worst is when they send it to him. Like, do y'all know girls like this? It's embarrassing. If you're hanging out with another dude and you're like, yeah, I'm going to take a picture with this guy and then I'm going to send it to this other guy that I like. Bro, sis, that is so freaking embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you, honey. You know what kind of people do that? Girls in high school. Now, if you're that immature, well, then I'm just going to be real with you and tell you that's probably the reason this guy isn't into you anyway. Another thing that's freaking pathetic, I hate to do this, but is the girls that like, they will end a whole friendship with someone because they like this guy and this guy doesn't like them. He's interested in this person instead. Well, she must not be my friend. I don't think so. I think it's more like he must not be at all interested in you and you must have a really pathetic self-esteem that you can't accept that and move on. Oh, here's one. Oh man, here's one that's really sad. When they're like, and we all know girls like this, are rotating dudes. First of all, if you're sleeping with more than one guy and you're over the age of 25, you and I need to have a sit down and come to Jesus and we need to talk about getting you on A, birth control, B, getting you lots of shots, and C, you should do something because like, ew. Do you think that other guys aren't talking about that? And the guys that are sleeping with you are probably, and if they don't make that decision now, it could be 2 years from now and maybe you fall in love with some other guy and you're not that girl anymore. But then that guy is talking to one of the dudes that you used to sleep with when you had a rotating shift in your bedroom. And he's going to be like, well, I don't know. When I knew her, she was a hoe. You have to think about things like that. Now, some people don't care. And if you don't care, I say live your life, girl. Do you and have a blast. But there's ways to do things, even if that's what you're going to do. There's ways to do things discreetly. Okay? And, wait, here's another one. If you're rotating all those dudes, and one of them now is not interested in you anymore, and they show interest in somebody else, regardless of whether you know the other person they show interest in or not, let them go. If you have more than one guy in your bed, honey, you are already way overreaching. And you have no right to lay claim to this guy if you're effing two other people. Is what it is. How about when a girl likes a guy? Okay, let's give them names. Like, let's say girl number one likes George. Okay? But George has already been like low-key hooking up with girl number one's friend, girl number two. And girl number one knows that. She could try and be like, well, I didn't even think y'all were like hooking up. Yes, you did. Because I was there. You did. I was there. I remember the whole conversation, see, because I don't drink as much as you. So I remember things. Anyway, then you start hooking up with George. And now you're sad because Peter doesn't want anything to do with you anymore. Peter has shown interest in girl number two. And you're mad. Well, then you shouldn't have started hooking up with George. It's the way it works. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. Even Donald Trump does not sit there and try to lay claim to 13 different women and actually think that he's going to get all 13 of them and still come out looking like, and smelling like a rose. Doesn't work that way. This is not me being judgmental. This isn't me being a bitch. This is me being honest. This is me at 45 years old, far more mature than a lot of people I know who are in their 60s, sadly. And I mean, I'm not even talking about dudes. I'm talking about females. But that's just, I have an old soul. And, I've always been a keen observer of people. So, and I'm educated and I have a lot of psychology under my belt. So because of that, I'm able to read people walking a mile away. Okay? I like to look at things with this attitude, okay? I don't give a crap. If the guy has another girl, or if the guy doesn't have another girl, if the guy is attractive, not attractive, whatever. If I'm interested in a man and he's not interested in me, or maybe I'm interested in a man and then his interest wanes, if it truly wanes and he is no longer interested, then A, he needs to act like that. And B, once I realize it, I kind of, you can ask my best friend Brandy this. You can actually ask my best friend Jessica this because she knows too. I've lost all interest. If you're not smitten with me, what's wrong with you? That sounds terrible, but whatever. It is what it is. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I'm packing. I know what I'm working with. And I know what I can and can't ask for and or require from someone. And as such, I'm not going to get butthurt about this, that, or the other. Because I probably don't have a right to. Case in point, one of my really good friends, and I love him to death, and he's amazing. His name's Mike Armato. If anyone's out there single and interested, let me know. Hey, I mean, he makes great money, dynamic personality, super intelligent, wonderful person. He has such a kind, empathetic heart. I just love him as a human being. He's amazing. Well, when we first met, I totally crushed him. And the thing is, physically, he's not my type at all. And really, actually, in any way, he's really just not my type, but he's just such a great person. And he was he was low key, he was calm, he was all these things that I do look for. I like a quieter, calmer, more chill guy. He was not even remotely interested in me. It sounds bad, but I don't even think he thought I was pretty. Not that he thought I was ugly, he just didn't think of me. And that's okay, because there's nothing wrong with that. Now, and we've been friends now for well over 10 years, he'll be like, man, that was such a mistake. No, it wasn't though. It really wasn't. Because you know what? I'd rather have him in my life as my friend. And I love that it happened that way, because guess what? It taught me that it was, I think, the first time that it was demonstrated to me, because one of my friends at the time goes, you're not upset that he doesn't like you back? And I said, well, no, I just think if he doesn't like me back, he's not the guy for me. He's the guy for somebody else. And yay for her, whoever she is. But that's all right. There'll be another one that comes along. And my friend was like, wow, you were the least jealous, least weirdly obnoxious about that sort of thing person. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I just don't. Why should I waste all of that on somebody that I could be giving to someone else? So ladies, love yourselves. It is not for you to try to make somebody love you. They're either into you or they're not. And if they're not, honey, move along. I promise you there's another one who is.